Well, hello, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the month of July. Hope you're amazing. So we're going to get right in. You have quite a few oracle cards. It's a very interesting read, I feel. But we're going to get in it. So, first we have the Prince, the Alchemist, and the Hermit, which were all in the upright for personality. We have Between Worlds, Milk and Honey. We have Letting Go, Communication, the Eagle. We have Great Achievement, Spirit of Water. And then we have Angels of the Four Directions and White Buffalo. Okay, the first thing I'm going to say, July seems to be a transformation of your viewpoint with the idea of love. Romantic love, family love, what it means, what sacrifice means, what too much sacrifice means, what nurturing others mean, what it is to want too much nurturing from others, things like that. It's like you're understanding the balance and the maturity more in what love means. And love is not just like between partners. It can be compassion, it can be caring, it can be a sort of respect. There's lots of different things that love can be. But I feel like your vision of love is changing. And not for the bad, it's maturing. And it almost, well, the way I'm seeing it is it's like the synapses in the brain are connecting things, right? But it has to do with love and compassion and care, things like that. Okay. So, personality. I feel like you have used love as in its charming aspect and all the beautiful bubbly ways that you view it and how it should feel in an ideal world and in the movies and all that kind of thing and in on social media. But you are noticing at this point in July how hard it is to find what you're looking for because it's a story, right? It's Hollywood made. Like it's not real in aspects what you're looking for. So there is a maturity in love, there's sacrifice and vulnerability and things like that and compromise. And I feel like those things, you're starting to see how important those things actually are to a relationship. It's not just about sort of like what you're getting, I guess you can say. So in July, there's a lot of you sitting with yourself and understanding deeper concepts of love and connection with others. So I do feel like in July, you're not you're not very active, I'll say, but you are very contemplative. Okay. So I feel like you're in your head more in July. You're thinking about things. You're putting pieces together. You're seeing what makes sense and kind of like what doesn't, Pisces. And eventually it'll get clear. It's like the synapses are synapsing. Like they're connecting each little piece until it like makes sense. So you're definitely noticed through your connection with others and trying to communicate your feelings, that it's either not coming out right, people aren't connecting to it in the right way. It's like you need to take a step back and be like, what's going on? Because it's not going very well. So I need to take a step back and figure out sort of like why it's not going well, what I can do differently, how I can make changes, how I can talk to people differently, things like that. How can I express myself in a way that people understand me, or like what is love? Did I have it already and I missed it, or am I still looking for it? That type of thing. So this is a very significant point in your life, this moment, this wisdom when it comes to love. It's like you're leveling up your love knowledge. Yeah, so it is significant. You're building very good foundations in that area, right? And it feels to me like this is something that you didn't know you needed, but you did need. So it will change your love life. It'll change the way you view love. It'll change what you're looking for. It'll change really your happiness, for the good. Okay? So let's get into your cards, Pisces. Okay, Pisces, let's see what we got for you for July. Okay, the Star, the Ace of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, right here. Dreams turn into reality. But it's like they have to be manifested into real life. They have to be tangible. Yeah. King of Swords, the Moon, the Sun, Page of Swords. Lots of major arcana. Seven of Wands and the Hangman. I told you this is very significant to your life. See? The Lovers on the bottom too. The Hierophant and the World, right? So this is definitely a new phase of life. There's this sense of codependency that was in the past, of making, let me try to put this into words. It's like a codependency on someone else to make love real for you. Not understanding that it's sort of like a cohesive situation, right? So how you view love on a more selfish level is changing. That's ending, right? Because you want something long-term. You want marriage. You want something that feels real. You want something solid, or at least know how to look for something that is more solid. And when the Lovers card comes up, it has a soulmate connotation to it. And it means that you have to get real, right? The Lovers card is a balance of two opposite sides, right? They come together to make one whole. And, it just can't be all one way and not the other person's, or back and forth. There has to be an an even balance. So lots of major arcana on this table, but in the center you have the Moon, right? I feel like your ideals of love, romance, are kind of in the dreamy sector, okay? And it's fine to be dreamy. But if you want something tangible, it has to be rooted in some sort of reality. So this is not going to be that easy. That's where the King of Swords is, because I feel like it's breaking down sort of this, I know what I'm talking about. It's breaking that down to, you don't really know what you're talking about. So listen to learn and actually have knowledge on this. So yeah, definitely a lot of being rooted in dreams. And you have been standing with that and making decisions based on that for an extremely long time, right? Like, this is your Roman Empire, okay? So I see that in order to make your dreams a reality, you have to walk away from those already established thoughts about how love and emotion are supposed to be, because you're not getting what you want, which means that you're not working in the right area to achieve the love or the connections that you want, right? You can only blame everybody else for so long. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But it gives me a sense of needing to be more grounded in your ideas of what love and connection with others is supposed to be. Yeah. You're quickly going to understand. It's almost like once you start seeing, Pisces, what didn't make sense or what was dreamy, it all starts to make sense to you. But it's like you have to accept it. You can't go, well, this is too much. You can't do that. You can, but then you're going to be back in the situation that you were in. And the whole point is wanting to have something real and tangible and possibly have something more long term. So you're definitely getting more grounded. And there's a lot of things for you to think about. There's a lot of epiphanies you're going to have, and a lot of things you're going to have to sort of move away from. Okay. Yeah, I see you fighting back and forth with, I want to say it's like childishness in a way. It's like, well, this is what I want. I don't understand why I can't have what I want. I want to win. I want to have this knowledge, but still be able to do it the way that I want to do. You know, there's kind of a pushback, but you need to understand that if you don't put the energy in the new direction, if you don't work on it, if you don't invest, you're not going to get it. Like I said, you're going to go back into that. But it's just because, especially with the moon card, it's very mind driven. And it's like you don't want to accept the changes, or even just say I was wrong or I need to do it in a different way, because it kind of puts the rest of your past into perspective that you don't want to see. Okay. Wow, this is a heavy one, huh, Pisces? Yours usually aren't this heavy, I feel like. Yeah. Some of you, there's this idea of love, of always feeling nurtured. Like it's like true love or true respect is always someone doing what you say, or making you feel wonderful all the time, or everything is beautiful. You always feel like you're in love throughout the whole thing. But that's not success. It's almost love bombing. You know what I mean? It's not real. You can ask anyone that's married. Every day is not wonderful, but they still love their partner. They wouldn't want anyone else, but every day is not wonderful. And suddenly, that song just popped into my head. Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like that's what you have been looking for, you know? That's what you've been looking for. That's the only thing that you've wanted. And I feel like if you look back, you can see that those relationships that were full of all that passion that you want to have usually kind of fell, like crashed into the ground, or were not healthy. Okay. So I feel like you're starting to understand that more. It's almost like you're getting wiser, like you're growing up, like you're going through a next phase, you know, that 7-year itch where you start to change or look at things differently. And you're seeing that you need more, like less passion, less romance. Not that it's bad, but more practicality in relationships for them to last longer, right? It's not always about romantic dinners every single day if they don't know how to hold a job. Okay. Yeah, that's something that you are sort of understanding. You know, you can't be the one to take care of everything all the time. They have to be sufficient as well. Things like that. So I feel like there's a lot of like things that are coming into your mind, and you're processing like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. You know, like you're going to be doing that an awful lot. You definitely want to take a step, more of a solid step into something that's going to last. A long-term relationship, marriage, something of that nature. I can definitely see that. I feel like I don't know if you have or other people have been manipulating you into thinking that whatever's happening in the relationship will stop and then eventually everything will be great. Feeling like there'll be a new beginning or a new turnaround. But you're starting to see that is something that sort of kept you trapped in situations that you didn't need to be in for a long time, you know, but you ended up being there longer than you should have. Like convincing yourself that you're content where you are when you're really not. Yeah. So there's this energy of you just wanting to, I want to say, fight back and push back so you can have something more long term. It's like you want to put in the hard work to actually make that happen. at least to try. You don't know if it will, but you at least want to try. From the looks of it, some of you, okay, so I'm getting the vibe that some of you may have met someone in the past that you felt like was closed off or wasn't giving you like the love that you wanted, but was like a good person. I don't know how to really explain that. Like they weren't overdoing it. They weren't like every day, like it seems a little bit more realistic. It seems a little grounded. Um it's almost like you're realizing that that should not have been over. I don't know about going back, but I feel like, yeah, there was some sort of breakup with someone that you felt like didn't love you the way you needed to be loved. But it was more, at the time, it's like you needed way too much, and maybe this person exercised some sort of boundaries or something, but in your mind you were like, you're not loving me enough or something of that nature. It feels like that. I feel like you're learning something from that experience, whether you're traveling back in your head about the situation or contacting that person or seeing them and talking to them, something of that nature. But there's something about that relationship I feel like is really connecting with you. Like that's what long term or success looks like, something that's more balanced or middle ground. I'm going to be honest, this may be very specific, but it feels like, yeah, you want to contact this person. But it feels like they may be a little distant. Keep in mind, I feel like this person is very grounded and very realistic. And they think that you're just coming around to play again, like play around. So they're not very open to the idea. They may be a little pompous as well. Or if you're not going towards somebody, you're thinking about them or thinking about contacting them. This is very specific. I see that more in the future. Maybe not in July, maybe August or the end of July. But we're going to get more into your love energy, Pisces. See what's going on there. The first thing that wants to be expressed to you is you wanted a new beginning and this is it. Okay? So how you choose to interact with this, whether you choose to accept the task, the journey, the mission or not, depends on if you get the thing that you wanted. I almost feel like a lot of you prayed for it. It's like dreaming for the real love or someone to care about you. But the universe will only provide it to you in the way that it's healthy and that it's meant to be, not in that magical prince on a horse way. Okay. They can, but it's going to have some healthiness to it. If what you're looking for is not healthy, the universe is not going to send you something that's not healthy. Okay. And sometimes you don't know. It's not healthy. Just keep that in mind. So, yeah. So it's important for you to put a lot of dedication into your efforts in July. Okay. Yeah, you're seeing that being 100% all in in love, like 100% all in. Everything has to be perfect. White horses, princes, flowers, dinners, all of that thing. Um, is unrealistic because with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, it's like stuck energy. It's like you're stuck there and no one can feel that in a healthy or correct way. Somebody can, but then something's off, like they're a manipulator or something like that. It's like you have to take a sacrifice. So it'll be smarter to have wisdom, on how things go in the real world. It's like believing that unicorns exist, which is great, okay? But it's probably just a horse. It's like you have to be more realistic to have it in the universe. I mean, like in this world. I don't know how else to explain that. It sounds crazy. But I just feel like your energy is being directed in a more practical way to at least achieve what you want in a healthy manner instead of not having it at all. There we go. Yeah, you're becoming clear on what's real. So what you're going to be looking for and what you're communicating for, that's why I said it's more like wisdom. You're getting more wise, Pisces, on what you're looking for. So you can be confident in the direction that you're going in. Because I can see that the way you were going in wasn't effective in achieving what you wanted, and it didn't nurture you. Like, it's not helpful. It's not helping you grow. If anything, it was keeping you stagnant and in situations that you didn't need to be in. So your love energy, because I feel like that's what this whole reading is about in July. But your love reading came up in 2 sections for me. To me, this looks like 2 sections. So the first one is your changes in how you view love and look at love are changing. It's like your wake-up call on what love really is. Okay? And some of you are out here looking for different relationships all the time and not really putting in effort and energy in ones that are good, or sticking around long enough, because it seems like you may have the choice to like find new ones and keep going to different things that interest you, but it's showing you the importance of how you're not putting the time and effort into certain things, like you're not investing. Yeah. And seeing how there was a wrong step in the past. There was a wrong step in the past. And the reason why the wrong step happened is because you weren't willing to move forward. You weren't willing to learn or to grow at the time, whether you know it or not. I'm going to leave it there because I feel like that's a good generalization of what it feels like. Okay. Money and career. You have a new job, or you're going to school, you're starting something new in your life. And in July, you're learning how to balance, like how to do schoolwork and how to work, how to have time for others. I feel like you're learning how to balance work and life. And I think that, you have so much time on your hands to think and get clear on certain aspects of your life because you're trying to do work and life balance. So you don't have time to do those extracurricular activities. Got it. All right. Ooh, perseverance. Didn't I say that? You got to stick with it, okay? Right? It's like know your self-worth and also know the self-worth of others. And that doesn't mean like I get what I want. It does not. It means that if you want a beautiful relationship, you want long-term, you want marriage, you have to stick with it. That's the whole thing. You got to learn how to compromise. You got to learn how to try. You just don't walk away or, you know, get pouty or demand everything you want when that time comes. Another person also has their viewpoint. I hope this makes sense. Soulmate, that's what you're walking into. Finding the real relationship that's for you, but also, you know, balance. Okay? Two sides. Facade. See that? That's the only way that I can love, the only way that I can be is if it comes out just the way I want it to. That's not how the world works, Pisces. Okay? So, I love you. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.